going on? Oh, yeah, I know. Well, Sharavius, are you ready for vacation? Woohoo! Well, Sharavius, we are going to miss you next week, but no, we will miss you, but you know what? I can't think of somebody who deserves a vacation more than you, my friend. Wait. What's Drink a Little Brown? Trash can punch? Do the kids still do that? I was going to say, I am going to light candles at church for you starting today. She can say some rosaries for you. Sharavius. Waxing? Do you know how much that hurts, my friend? Well, wait, before you go into all the things you're doing on vacation, hey, howdy, folks, and welcome to JP, Kathy, and the crew. We're so glad you've tuned in on this fine Friday. We're on 620 AM, KEXB, and we're glad to have you with us. Would imagine you're kicking off your day with your first cup of coffee, as I'm about to do. We're really excited to have you with us today. We've got State Representative Jeff Leach calling in today. He had a 6:45 a.m. meeting the other day, so he couldn't call in on Tuesday, so he's calling in today with an update from the State House. We have the principal, Frank, and he's been on our show before, great guy, yeah, Frank Iglesias, who was the principal at Columbine during those horrific shootings. And with everything that's gone on lately, we just thought we'd touch base with him because he's got a really good grasp on what goes on in the mind of these folks, and we're just very, very happy that he's able to join us today. And then on Friday, as always, our new sponsors, Silverback Grill and Sauce. We've got our sauce guys in the house. Yeah, you're taking some of their sauce on vacation with you, aren't you, Sharavius? Yeah, I know you got phones ringing and everything. Okay.
I said I put in my request of what type of meal I would like on Monday night. Kathy, I land in Atlanta on Sunday. I'm spending the night in Atlanta. Monday morning, I'm back to my hometown. And Kathy, the fun starts from there.
I love it. For those of you that don't know, and I hope you'll still tune into the show because it will probably be quite boring without Sharavius to argue against all of our conservative principles.
Some big shoes to fill while I'm out. Big shoes to fill.
That's true. I think, do we have Bill filling in for you next week?
Training him a little bit, so we'll see how he can whole thing. It's not an easy thing to man, you know.
We are not. JP and JP's in Austin for judicial truancy training, so he won't be tuning in today because he's got early morning classes. So JP, safe travels back home from Austin. But yeah, JP and I are not easy to manage. I can imagine working a soundboard and producing this show. We're not easy.
Look, I'm leaving one Republican state and going back to another Republican state to see what they got going.
Honey, if you look at the map from President Trump's victory, the United States is all a Trump state. Oh, what is happening? I can't even give you a break the day before you leave for vacation.
Yeah, Catherine there.
Well, there you go. I did not realize that you were of Hispanic descent. Oh, Sharavius, you're a mess. You're a mess. Okay, so are you taking some Silverback Grill and Sauce on your trip?
I think I am. I am indeed.
I think you're going to introduce, I know Smokin' Joe's your favorite.
Listen, can I tell you my menu I have prepared for Monday night back at home?
I'd love to hear it.
Ribs, have butter beans, I have cornbread, I have macaroni and cheese, have a couple more sides, and I have 2 homemade red velvet cakes.
Oh, I love red velvet cake. Wow.
Everybody will notice, each night, everybody has to cook a meal.
Okay. So your family and friends they're having to serve you.
Different house, different night.
Oh, I love it. Well, we're very excited about you having a chance to go on vacation and relax. You are one of the hardest working people I know, so I'm very, very happy for you. But we are going to miss you. We are definitely going to miss you. Well, hey, oh, you have to come back. I know that's one of those things. You got to come back. Well, folks, when we come back, we're going to have State Representative Jeff Leach on the phone, calling in live from Austin. One of the hardest working men down in Austin, and we are so glad that he calls into our show on a weekly basis, and he is really doing a great job serving the good people of the great state of Texas. And so, I believe Greg Abbott is running for another term, but
Jeff for governor, Jeff for governor, Jeff for governor, Jeff for governor. Hey, I know he's listening right now. I'm just saying.
I know you're a fan. You like him and you like Van Taylor. I know that.
Listen, so I know we got to go to break, but I got to tell you this. I'm a Democrat by heart, all the way by heart. But
really, I've never noticed.
Oh, you haven't? But if Jeff ever ran for governor, I would vote for Jeff.
Wow. Holy Toledo, Batman.
Republican governor appointee I would ever vote for.
Wow, that's a big old statement. That's a big old statement. Well, he's all about the kids, and so are you. So that's good stuff. Well, folks, that's a great lead-in. So stay tuned. Come back after the break because Shravius has endorsed Jeff Leach for governor whenever he runs for governor.
Wherever I touch, it counts.
I agree. I agree with you on that. Well, folks, we're JP, Kathy, and the crew. We're so happy you've tuned in with us on this Friday morning. We want to kick your weekend off to a good start. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back on 620 KEXB, JP, Kathy, and the crew. Excellent. Oh no, Greg Kelly says he hopes we're hungry. Does that mean that he's got food for us? Oh yay! Excellent. Didn't set this up correctly. I'm gonna have to get a new stand. My little $3.99 Party City stand is kind of starting to peter out on me. Craig hopes we're hungry. Oh no. Okay, I think, is that a little bit better? And do we have my grilling sauce sign? The back. Hey, everybody. Oh, Jody, Mark. Who else do we have? Okay, yeah, Greg. You're a mess. Like, what are you bringing in? Oh, no. Devona. Oh, thank you for sharing the video, Devona. Craig Keelan. Kate Freilich. Let's get... All right, let's see if that... Oh!
This offers a full
Roden
range
Boss.
of products for your home. All types of flooring, quartz, and granite countertops, tile backsplashes,
Roden
mattresses, and multiple brands of appliances, including Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana.
They're out front.
$1,600 in rebates when you purchase a kitchen full of KitchenAid appliances. See store for details. You can find us at Rodenboss.com. Whether you are remodeling, replacing, or upgrading, you've got the hometown advantage at Rodenboss. Mention JP, Kathy, and the crew and get free standard delivery.
Make your grilling great again. The evolution of sauce is here, and there's a new king of the jungle. Silverback Gorilla Sauce. A unique name, a unique flavor. With a taste that alternates between sweet and spicy, you can use it as a base, as a marinade, or better yet, pour it on top of your meat as you're grilling. As the sauce thickens and begins to caramelize under the heat. Gluten-free and no high fructose corn syrup. Head on over to your local Kroger and pick up some, or find us at silverbackgorillin.com. Get your gorillin on.
The maze.
All right. Shravius? Can you hear me? Greg and them are out front. Get Jeff on and then go get him. Okay, perfect. Okay. And then excellent, sir. All right, stand by, folks.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, happy Friday. Howdy, and welcome to JP, Kathy, and the crew.
And on the phone, Kathy.
We do. We have one of your favorite elected Republicans, and that is State Representative Jeff Leach, who has called in. Welcome, Representative Leach, and please enlighten us and let us know what the heck is going on in Austin this week, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
We're doing really well. Shravius is getting ready to go on vacation for an entire week, so it's going to be crazy next week. You'll want to tune in. He said whenever you run for governor, he's endorsing you. So just FYI, you're first Democrat to endorse you.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Where are you going on vacation, buddy?
I'll be back in Georgia, eating, getting fat, getting all these calories. I'll be back though.
Good. Well, have fun. I have no idea how JP and Kathy are going to survive without you.
I know. We'll be at each other's throats.
Well, have a great vacation, and it's good to talk to y'all. Happy Friday to you and your listeners. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And I know I normally call in on Tuesday morning. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to earlier this week. It's been an absolutely just crazy week here in Austin, but it's been a good one. And we were on the floor last night until nearly midnight, and we'll be back at it here later this morning. So we've got a little over 3 weeks left here in the legislative session. We're headed down the home stretch. Still got our budget to pass, as well as literally hundreds, if not a couple, thousand pieces of legislation that we will be voting on over the course of the next 25 days.
And again, Representative Leach, something you've talked about before on this show, and that is y'all's main gig, y'all's only gig that you're constitutionally bound by is to pass a budget, correct?
That's right. The only bill that we're constitutionally required to pass is a biennial state budget, about a $210 billion state budget, and we're still we're still working through things with the Senate. I think that's a nice way to put it. We've got our differences between the chambers and the governor's office, and so we're working hard to try to reconcile those differences to arrive on a final balanced state budget that limits government, that keeps spending low, but that still fully funds the priorities of the state. That's a lot easier said than done. There's different ideas, there's different concerns, there's different priorities between the chambers and between the members, and so we're trying hard to get it done. I'm confident we will, but we still got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. Well, so is there anything at this point that you are really trying to push through here at the end? I know there's one of the bills that I've had several listeners ask us about, and that was the bill protecting college girls. And you had told us kind of the statistics that were actually, I knew they were bad. I had no idea until you told me the numbers on that. There's that one particular bill. What are the chances of that getting passed this session? And if it doesn't get passed this session, will you be pushing that again next legislative session?
Well, no, thank you for bringing that up, Kathy, because sexual assault and how we handle the epidemic of sexual assault, not only on our campuses of higher education, but just generally throughout society, throughout our culture, in our cities, large and small across the state, sexual assault, and how we serve the victims and how we hold those responsible. It's an important issue. It's one that I'm extremely passionate about. specifically with respect to higher education. You know, look, I'm a Baylor graduate, and what has happened at Baylor and what's happened really on many of our higher education campuses, private and public, large and small across the state, it's an epidemic. It really is. And the legislature has a responsibility to work collectively with our campuses, with our administrators, our educators, with students, law enforcement across the state to address the issue. I filed 2 pieces of legislation in the House. I'm actually working with Senator Kirk Watson, who's a Democrat representing the Travis County, Austin area. He serves in the Senate. We're working on legislation, bipartisan legislation together to address the issue of campus sexual assault, and I'm very confident that those bills will pass by the end of session.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that, because you're right. That is such an issue, and I'm so glad that you've brought that to light and brought it together in such a succinct with such a succinct message with the statistics, because you're right. I mean, again, it's kind of like when you send, and I know you've got school age kids, and when you send your kids off to school, you expect them to be safe. And when you have your young adult daughter who is still, and you've got a daughter, I mean, I've got a 17-year-old, they're still very young and very naive. And I'm sorry, when you send them off into the world, and especially into a place of education, and especially a place of higher education, my goodness, the last thing you expect is for them to be attacked by a fellow student at that.
No, that's exactly right. And the thing is there's no institution that's immune to this. You know, when you add in a college environment, you add in, you know, the use of alcohol and drugs, and just generally, you know, college students that are essentially living together for 4 years, living in an environment. You know, look, we've seen it at Baylor, we've seen it at small private Christian institutions, and we've seen it at our large flagship institutions like the University of Texas, where 15% of female students, 15% of female students at the University of Texas have said that they've been sexually assaulted during their time at University of Texas. And
that's unacceptable. I mean, Jeff, that's insane.
It's shocking, and there's no university that's immune to it. There's no university that's above it. And so what we're doing is we're working, the Baylors and Dallas Baptist universities and Tarleton States of the world are coming together with Texas Tech and University of Texas and A&M and Rice, and literally every institution in the state is coming to the table and saying, how can we work together to address this? Of course, training and education, and just the culture generally, ensuring that we're shaping up the next generation of students to be the right kind of people, but also, you know, holding those responsible. If there's bad actors out there, there's people who want to do harm, there's people who you know, want to take advantage of women, and we've got to hold those responsible. And a large part is also serving the victims, making sure there's not victim shaming, ensuring that victims have the tools they need to quickly report crimes, and that our campuses and law enforcement have the tools that they need to quickly respond.
That's a really good point, because you're right. It's, you know, somebody had said, I'd heard somebody talk about having been raped when they were very young recently, and they mentioned that when you get mugged, there's no mug shaming, you know, but once you're a victim of a sexual assault, especially if maybe you've been at a party or you've had a couple of drinks or whatever the case may be, and that's not right. Again, no means no. And Representative Leach, thank you so much for standing strong for victims of violent crimes like this, and we really appreciate you. Next week, what are things to look for? Is there anything that our listening audience and our JP, Kathy, and the Crew Radio family can help you guys with next week as far as phone calls, emails, things of that nature? What's going on? What's the big vote for next week? Or votes, should I say?
Yeah, well, I wish there were just one. There's literally, I mean, today we'll be on the House floor. We're actually going to be here over the weekend in Austin working through the weekend. I mean, between now, you know, tomorrow and Saturday, I think we've got over 300 bills that are scheduled for votes on that.
Wow, 300?
300 just today and tomorrow alone. And so next week that will continue. The way it works in the House, the Senate's probably a little bit different, but the House, we kind of backload all of our work, and so the last month, 4 to 6 weeks of session are really slammed in committee and on the House floor, voting on legislation. And so there's some really important things that are coming up with respect to public education. We've done a number of things that have cracked down on STAR testing and that have reformed school finance. I'm really proud of the work we've done on education. I wish that we had more of a conversation about school choice this session. There's still time, and we may consider a school choice bill before June. But criminal justice, education, transportation, healthcare, all of these issues are still ahead of us. We got a number of important things that we still got to do. And like I said, with the help of our constituents, your listeners, I'm convinced that we'll get our work done and get back home in June.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. So that kind of sounds like you're not predicting a special session, or are you willing to go there yet?
You know what? If we don't get our work done, certainly if we don't pass that balanced budget, or if there's several priorities if we don't pass ethics reform, and we've of course got sanctuary cities that bill done. There's a number of other things that we've got to get done. And if we don't do it by May 29th, I'm confident that the governor will call us back into a special session. He alone holds that power. No one else does, not the speaker, not the lieutenant governor, certainly not Jeff Leach. And so I've stopped kind of predicting and pontificating on what the governor might do. But if we don't get our work done, he'll call us back. I know he will.
Yep, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you calling in on a Friday. We know you're crazy busy. I'm assuming you already early voted since you're not going to be back in Plano on Saturday.
I did. I early voted. I know there's a lot of local elections that are really important, and we'll be watching the results from Austin tomorrow to see who's going to be leading our cities and school districts in Texas.
Yeah, it should be a very exciting weekend, and it's not over yet because I would predict runoffs in a number of races around the state of Texas. Well, Representative Leach, thank you so much for calling in again on a Friday. I know this is off schedule, and I know with 300 bills plus ahead of you that you are very busy, and we really do appreciate that you've called in literally every week during session, and then when you're not in session, you're a regular guest on the show. We thank you so much for that because it does make a difference, because then people feel like, guess what, it is their government, which it is.
Well, it is their government, and I'm their voice here. Even when we don't agree on every issue, I try my best to be an effective voice for all my constituents. So if there's anything I can be doing for you or your listeners, I hope you'll let me know. And Travis, I hope you have a great vacation next week, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
I'm away.
I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much, Representative Leach. Have a blessed and a wonderful weekend. Keep up the great work, and thank you so much for working so hard for the people of the great state of Texas.
Yes.
All right, folks. When we come back from break, wait a second. Oh, we still have a couple of minutes left?
But enjoy me while I'm here.
Okay. Again, folks, JP, Kathy, and the crew, Sharavius, who is producer and the soundboard operator, and who basically has to put a leash on JP and I from time to time. He is actually taking his first vacation in over a year, right? Oh, it's been 2 years since he's had a vacation, and he is going out. He's going to be out of town for an entire week. I do not know what we're going to do without you, Sharavius.
Trust me, as long as I don't make CNN, trust me, I am good. I am real good. Hey, Kathy, breaking news. You know, got Silverback. They're in the kitchen. They're making sausages with the sauce, Kathy.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so Sharavius, his break's his vacation's starting early. Well, folks, we've got next coming on our show the gentleman who was the principal while during the Columbine shootings, and we talked about this the last few days. It has just been such a rough. It's been a rough year, and like I said, I've been on this radio show with you guys a little over a year, and I said there just hasn't been a week that's gone by that we haven't had some tragedy, some horrific accident, something. Hey, Mark Davis, something to report on. And this week in Texas, and even in North Texas in particular, and not to make light of, or not give the credit or talk about the stabbing that we had in Austin, which was awful. And if you've gone online to see what a nice kid that was just absolutely, his life was cut way too short, way too soon. But we've just had folks over and over and over who are coming out with these murder-suicides and shootings and stabbings, and what is behind that? We're trying to figure out what is behind that. As a society, what have we done? Have we become so numb to things that we don't even have? We've got folks who maybe they've shot you know, they've done online gaming, or maybe they've been bullied, or we don't know what the case is, but what is this all about? Because it's happening too much and too often. So, yeah.
What do you smell next to you right there? What?
Oh my goodness. Well, okay, well I'm talking about something serious, but this looks amazing. Okay, their sausage has, and there is shrimp too. This is awesome. The sausage instead of just having a toothpick stabbed in it, it's got I will. I'm going to flip it around in just a second. It's got put it in front of my camera. It's got toothpicks in it. Guys, if you could smell how good it smells in the studio,
got a pretzel.
You would lose your mind. It smells so amazing. Oh, absolutely, there's a God. But there's also great sauce. So Silverback Gorilla Sauce is in studio, and we can smell it. This is awesome.
Yeah, you got to try one.
Thank you. I'm about to on my break.
Let me get your
Well, folks, thank you so much. We're going to take a little break here, and then we'll be back soon. Again, thank you so much to State Representative Jeff Leach. We really appreciate you calling in every week, as we also appreciate State Senator Van Taylor calling in every week. So, yeah, Travis is already starting Jeff Leach for governor campaign. So, no, remember, hey, I like Greg Abbott. I worked on I was on his staff the very first time he ran for Attorney General. I've known him. He's been a dear friend of mine for 20 plus years now. So, I want to make sure we get him reelected, but you know what? I tell you what, I think I could jump on the same bandwagon as you, Shravius, and you're the first Democrat to endorse him.
Whenever I put something out there in the universe, something happens. I'm just saying. But Kathy, we gotta go to break. I got.
We do have to go to break, but you know what's funny? Bo Carver, who has his show on 6:20 a.m. Now, I'm not a traitor. He doesn't compete with us because he's on Saturday mornings from 7 to 8. He said since Shravius is going to be out, he may tune in every day next week. He's laughing. All right, folks, we're JP, Kathy, and the crew on 6:20 a.m. KEXB.
Good morning.
OMG.
Look at those I bought you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what is what here?
Yeah, you can cut it off.
What's
okay,
what?
That one is
oh my
original.
gosh, you guys should see this food.
That's original.
Okay.
Is it still warm? Yeah, it's pretty warm. Here, try that. That's original.
Oh my gosh.
And you can eat the pretzel.
I
Isn't
know.
that pretty clever?
I love that. When did y'all decide? Is that what y'all always done?
Yeah. I hope it's not too hot.
Mmm.
Not too
Oh,
hot.
good.
That was original.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a Smoking Joe, and then we got a big old shrimp for you.
Mmm. Everybody's get your grilling on. Mmm. That is so good.
You know why we do the pretzels? So then they don't have to throw the toothpick. You get that little crunch.
Plus, you get a little bit of crunch and salty.
You ready, buddy?
That is so good.
What'd I tell you? Original. That one's yours.
Wow.
Is it warm?
Mm-hmm.
That is so good.
Okay, that was original. Now you get the Smoking Joe.
Okay, now this is Smoking Joe.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, y'all, this stuff is so good.
There you go, hon.
This is so, so good. Oh, wait, don't
You got
fall
like your
into
own
it.
personal chef here.
I know, I love this. Hey, how's it going, Kyler?
How
I
are
like
you?
your hat.
Thank you.
I got to go to the Star in Frisco and do a tour the other day.
My wife did it. Said it's amazing.
Oh, I got to see all 5 of our Super Bowl trophies. I lost my mind. I got in trouble for I love it. I got in trouble for taking a picture of the rookies.
Oh, they did.
I had to delete it from my phone. Security's like, come on. And I was like, y'all, be
You can't do
cool.
that?
I'm not.
Who
you
was
gotta
it,
talk
Taco?
X's and O's.
Was it the
There was
Taco?
like a whole bunch of them out there.
Okay, that's Smoking Joe.
Mmm. Oh, so good.
Like Frank's on the line.
Mm.
And that's yours, bud. That's Smoking Joe.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
It's probably not as warm as we usually do, but when we're demoing, this is kind of how we do it.
That's amazing.
That's the one you had with the chicken nuggets. Over there.
We've got Frank DeAngelis on the line. So
The phones can do it, that man itself.
that is just so good.
Can I have some of your
So
coffee, Kathy?
I'm going to interview. Yeah, I'm going to interview him, Frank, and then after that we'll flip the camera
Okay.
over to you guys.
Do you like shrimp?
I love shrimp.
Check this out. Look at those things.
Can I drink some of your coffee, Kathy?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
I'm just kidding.
And there's no sugar in it.
That's yours.
With 11 locations across the Metroplex, you are sure to find a personal physician who meets your needs. Our highly trained primary care physicians, internal medicine, and pediatric and OBGYN specialists provide contemporary medical treatments for the entire family through all stages of life, from prenatal to seniors. Visit Family Healthcare Associates at FHCATX.com. That's FHCATX.com, or call 817-794-0031. Now's your chance to update your kitchen and save a bunch. Go to Roden Boss and see all the KitchenAid appliances that qualify for up to $1,600 in rebates when you buy a multi-piece kitchen suite. But that's not all. Roden Boss can replace your floors, countertops, backsplashes, and your old mattresses with finance options up to $50,000 with qualified credit. Check them out at RodenBoss.com. Family owned and operated since 1962, Roden Boss is Allen's oldest business. Mention JP, Kathy, and the crew and receive free standard delivery.
When you're grilling on a Saturday night, you want a sauce with kick.
Oh, I sang this all again
On a
last Friday.
Saturday night, you want a sauce that stays. And you'll be go reeling. Silverback go reeling sauce. Silverback go reeling sauce.
Silverback Gorilla Sauce. Head on over to your local Kroger and pick up some, or find us at silverbackgorilla.com. Get your gorillin' on.
From Wall Street,
Get friends online.
Okay.
this is 620 AM, KEXB, your experts in
Look at
business.
that, baby.
You hot?
All right, folks, welcome to JP, Kathy, and the crew. Howdy. Happy Friday, and we hope we are starting you guys off to a wonderful weekend. We're really excited. This is our caller that we have on the line is Frank DeAngelis, and I want to make sure I'm saying Frank's last name correctly. He was the principal at Columbine when that horrific shooting went down, and he's been a guest on our show a couple of times and has always just brought a wealth of knowledge to the show and to our listeners as we talk about what is behind these shootings. And again, and Frank, I know you've been paying attention to the news and seeing what's been going on lately and how we've just had this almost epidemic of school shootings and places where people are taking the law into their own hands. And what can you tell us? First of all, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, thank you for helping me or having me on. It's just a crazy time that we're living through right now, and I know it was a few weeks ago, received a phone call from the people in San Bernardino where domestic relations got involved, and unfortunately people were killed in an elementary school, and so it's some trying times right now.
It really is, Frank, and you've had, you were there personally. You've been through this kind of a tragedy, and you have been such an inspiration to folks. As far as I would say that you have been very much a healing factor for folks around the country because of what you went through and how you chose to make sure that you lived and made sure that this is something that is very near and dear to your heart. So you've helped people to heal, and I want to thank you for that. As a matter of fact, my daughter is doing a report at school. She's doing a project with another young lady, and she had no idea that I even had interviewed you before or spoken with you. And she said, "Have you ever heard of?" And she mentioned your name and Columbine, and I'm like, yeah. And I kind of just went with that. I was like, oh yeah. And she said, "Oh, I'm doing an entire presentation on him." And I said, well, and this is without me even telling my 17-year-old daughter something. And this is how many years later, and she chose you and the inspiration you were and the healing factor that you were for our nation after that shooting. So kudos to you, because that's coming from a 17-year-old who had no idea that I even knew you.
And when you consider that she was not even born,
Exactly.
recently had the 18th anniversary of the shooting, and it was very emotional because there were several parents who lost their child that day that was at Columbine a few weeks ago, and they came up to me and they said, "Frank, you realize that our children were dead as long as they were alive?" And you sit back and think, and it seemed like it was only yesterday, but unfortunately we continue to remember Columbine, and I think, what I've said time and time again, it's a time to remember and a time for hope, and And now I have an opportunity to go out and speak around the country. And, and I made a promise to those 13 who lost their lives. There's nothing I can do or we can do to bring them back, but we can go out and make sure that something like this does not happen. And I know people are saying, as we opened up the show, or my conversation, shootings continue to happen, but what we don't mention is how many have been stopped by some of the lessons that have been learned, the involvement the parents are getting involved in their children's lives, and school officials and police officers. So, we can't give up the fight.
You're right. So what advice, or let me ask you this, and I know our time's limited with you today, and I think we'd really like to have you on another time where we can maybe have you even on for like a 30-minute segment. But
honor.
Okay, well, then we're not losing your number, Frank. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think is attributing to the fact that this is happening more and more and more, and it's almost like just a regular occurrence on the news? Which school has a shooting going on?
Well, I think what happens is I think there's so many people that are looking for that single answer. I know after Columbine, people were trying to point fingers saying, well, these two killers from Columbine listened to Marilyn Manson music and they played the game of Doom, and these probably contributed. But, my point was there's a million kids that listened to Marilyn Manson, or there were so many kids that played these games of Doom, and they did not become mass murderers. And I really believe, as I made the statement time and time again, these kids or these shooters that are coming out of their mother's womb are not coming out with this hatred. What happened from the time they were born until the time they carried out the horrific act? I remember seeing pictures of the two killers at Columbine in their little Boy Scout uniforms or sock uniforms, missing teeth with a grin from ear to ear. And then I also remember seeing the guy that was coming after me on that horrific day pointing a shotgun at me, trying to kill me. And what happened from that time, that period of time, 12 to 15 years? And I think one of the things we have to do, I think, is so important. It's all about, relationships, identifying these kids that may be crying out for help. And, the piece of advice that I give when I go speaking around the country is people say, well, what are you going to do? And I said, what are we going to do? And what I think really needs to take place when I go to these conferences and present, the thing that I really encourage is that we have all the right people sitting around the table, that we have law enforcement, we have school administrators, we have mental health workers, we have people with the judicial system, that they hear the same message so we can come together to protect, our cheap, most precious commodity is our children. And I think it's important that we work together, that we have to stand up and say enough is enough.
You're right, Frank, and thank you so much. How can people get in touch with you? Because I know you do motivational speaking and you go around the country. How can people get in touch with you?
I'm on LinkedIn, but my name, but my email address is my name, Frank Deange, was the number 1 at yahoo.com, and I'd love to come out and just help whatever way I can. And if your daughter has any questions, please have her contact me. You have my number.
Oh, she'll be emailing you today, I'm sure. And again, are you okay if I put that out on social media, your email, so folks can get in touch with you? Because I would imagine there's a lot of folks, especially with this being almost an epidemic proportion right now, I'm sure there's folks who would like to get in touch with you. Are you okay with me putting your email out publicly? Okay, no phone number. I promise. Well, thank you so much, Frank, for calling in and for being part of our family.
And I'd like to spend more time with you.
Sounds great. Well, you have a blessed weekend, my friend, and thank you for all the good work you're doing and you continue to do. You've taken a tragedy and you've turned it into a healing opportunity for the nation, and even 18 years later, you continue to do so, and I'm honored to know you, sir, so thank you so much.
Thanks to you.
Take care. All right, folks, we are JP, Kathy, and the crew. When we get back from break, we've got grilling sauce to eat and taste. I'm about to take a taste of shrimp. Was it so good, Sharavius?
Kathy, I gotta tell you something. Stop the music.
Oh.
It's so good. Kathy, I gotta tell you. Either I'm hungry or it's so good that I will put Chick-fil-A on the back burner for this. And Kathy, matter of fact, I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday. I can show you all my receipts. I use a Chick-fil-A app, not a sponsor, but I'm just saying. I put Chick-fil-A on the back burner, their sauce just for this sauce. Kathy, you have no idea. Like, I just ate the sausage with sauce. I just had the shrimp with the sauce. I just had the pretzel over there with the sauce. I almost ate the toothpick with the sauce. I'm just asking how good it is. You got a Facebook Live, Kat, but I know we have to go to break.
Oh, I will. And well, I tell you what, we're gonna go to break so we can get back and we can get our Gorilla Sauce guys on from Silverback. They've got samples, y'all. These are so good, and I know that people are already online asking where you're going to be. So Robert's like telling all the places online right now.
In the heart of Texas.
I love it. All right, folks, we're JP, Kathy, and the crew. Stay tuned. We've got Silverback Gorilla Sauce in studio with samples, and we will be talking to Greg Kelly, who's one of the owners, next. We are JP, Kathy, and the crew. Yes, you can drink the sauce, Shravius. I get one, you get one. There's two different containers.
He can rub it on his
Kathy
head.
And the crew on KEXV 620 AM.
He can rub it on his head, it'll grow hair.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That was a great segment.
Oh, have you heard the gentleman? He's awesome, and I mean, literally, he had the gun. He had a
Yeah, I was
big old
listening. That's
shotgun
great.
on him. His story is.
It's just, I think there's too much. Well, we could go on. There's just too much information out there now.
Yeah, I
they're
think
just,
I
they're
think it's
watching
overload.
stuff. Yeah,
It's stimulus overload. I think that you see.
they value life.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and that's the thing with social media. It's kind of real, but it's not real. Like I think of stuff that kids do on FaceTime when they FaceTime each other, or when they're on Google Hangouts or whatever it is. If they were next to each other, would they be doing that or saying that? No. It's because it's
easy.
It will.
It's like
and
texting.
It's not real.
It's a lot harder to say no in person.
Yeah. Oh,
It's easy when you're texting.
And let me tell you, it's real easy to bully somebody online.
Sure.
And that's something. We definitely want to have Frank call in for a longer segment, but we wanted to get him on with all the stuff that's gone on lately.
It's crazy.
But, it is. But I was doing we have to do safe environment training for my son's school to be volunteers, and so I chose bullying as my thing. And to read up on or to do a little segment module training on it. And most of the kids who end up being these shooters, at some point you look back and they were bullied, and most of it of recent history,
They were bullied.
it was online. They were
bullying.
bullied online.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for somebody. Like when I left school, when you left school, we were done at 3:30. You didn't see anybody till the next morning at 8:30.
Yeah, you were off doing something.
Yeah,
whatever you were
exactly.
doing,
Yeah. But
With your
just
two
imagine if
friends
somebody
or-
was rude to you at school and started something at school, it
just
goes on
continues
24/7.
all night. It can go on all night.
Exactly.
You could be laying in bed
And it's ping. Exactly. Oh, exactly.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
I just went to the door and said, I'm going to beat you.
Well, and see, but that's the thing. My husband and I were talking about that. It used to be like, oh, if you bullied somebody, it was like, okay, there's going to be a rumble at recess or after school or something.
You just get done.
Well, nowadays, everybody can just keep on doing it and getting away with it because
Just
who's
keep
going to
going.
stop them online?
Right. Crazy.
Folks, hey, thanks for tuning in. We've got Gorilla Sauce guys in the studio. Special effects. All right, I'm going to turn the camera over to these guys. Okay, let me get this. All right.
Hey, did you get that sheet?
Yeah, make sure people in the Metroplex are asking where.
Well, we're going to go through all the. So when you get down towards the end, let us know so he can
Perfect.
go through where each store is and the demos.
Excellent, excellent.
Because we didn't do that last week.
Y'all had a busy weekend. Y'all have a busy weekend.
All right.
That's,
I was out in Fort Worth.
Excellent.
It was great.
Yay!
Sometimes we need a
You're right
specialist
now?
to go to bat for us. If you or a loved one is in need of legal
Where are we on
assistance,
Fort Worth?
get help from someone
Where are we
you
on
can
Fort Worth?
trust. Michael D. Curran is
Oh,
a
okay,
specialist
cool.
in
It's
family
far.
law and criminal defense cases.
a long day.
Michael's
Yeah.
practiced law here for over 20
Let's
years
see,
and will
pretzel,
help you deal
sausage,
with any legal
sauce.
matter.
Pretzel,
If
sausage,
you counsel,
sauce.
you can
Smile
text
and
call
smile.
Michael Curran
Do this. I'm pretty good at that.
862-567-8484 or visit collegecountylegal.com. Your initial consultation is free.
Hello, golf.
Rob's on the line.
Texas Links on the air.
Oh, excellent. Rob's on the line.
Don't say it out loud. Your email's on your Outlook.
Stand by. Oh, I love that song. The moves like Jagger. How about you got the moves like Gorilla and Sauce? You got the moves like Silverback.
You got the moves like the monkey.
All right, make sure we haven't done a mic test yet on Greg because we've been busy eating. Mic test? You can hear him?
Hello.
All right. Well, folks, howdy and welcome to JP, Kathy, and the crew. We have got one of our favorite sponsors, Silverback Gorilla and Sauce, in studio with samples, and that's why they're one of our favorites, because they bring us food. We love them. Well, Greg, take it away. Tell us what you got going on.
Good morning.
And good morning, Rob. I know you're calling in from Nevada.
Nevada.
Dang nabbit. Nevada. Sorry. So good morning, Robert Claybaugh.
Good morning,
Rob.
people in Dallas, Tejas.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, well, Greg, bust a move.
first off,
Tell us what's up.
Well, first off, I want to get started with, I want to give a shout out to National Food and Beverage. Johnny Lee, Katie, and CJ. We wouldn't be here without these guys. We'd still be, Rob be mixing it in my backyard. So they're awesome. They do a great job. And we just, we're so thankful that we are able to bottle with them. Oh, sure. We'll tell you that later.
They're not going to tell you the secret sauce
Rob,
for the secret
hey,
sauce, honey. That ain't happening, Sharabius.
Rob, how many times do we get this? What do you? Yeah, tell me more.
It's all made with love, baby.
Okay. That's the most important one. The most important one. I'll take that.
It's made with love, and you can tell that. Hey, these guys are passionate about what they do. Well, Greg, tell us what you guys have got going on, and
here's
more
what
about your business.
I think today we're gonna continue the story next week, but today I think we're gonna get into the sauces, and I kind of want to go through each sauce, and then Rob and I kind of tell you what his favorite thing is with it, and maybe I'll tell you what my favorite thing is.
Perfect.
But just so you know what you're getting. But hey, Rob, on the original our original sauce, it's a barbecue sauce, but it's our all-purpose sauce. What's one of the things other than on the barbecue grill that you like to do with it?
Well, I'm glad that you did say that. It is an all-purpose sauce, and I do love to barbecue outside, but I also like to cook inside. We use it for lots of stuff up here: spaghettis and chilies and meatloafs, and we like to infuse it in a lot of different things that we cook with. We use it for marinades. We use it as a dipping sauce. We use it for tons of different items. Tons of different.
So you infuse it in the meatloaf?
We'll actually infuse it into the meat, and then we use it as a topper, when you're finishing up at the very end. I like to put a little S on there so it makes it look like Silverback came out. So pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I love it. That's a great idea.
There you go. So that being said, on the original, so it's our all-purpose sauce. You can use it in the kitchen. You can actually, my kids dip with it. Just put their dip.
I do.
Dip their
I
nuggets and
do.
stuff.
I absolutely dip with it.
And I like it heated up. All the flavors come out.
It has a completely different taste
when it's heated.
It really does.
It really does. And then our Smokin' Joe. Now that is our barbecue sauce. And what do you like? Can you cook with it on the grill? Like, do you glaze it at the beginning? How do you do it, Rob?
Well, just like Sharabius was saying, I think our Smokin' Joe is actually my favorite. Cooking outside, you can cook just about everything that you do on a barbecue. It has a little bit of a sugar content in it, so I always like to use it towards the very end. It has a nice glazing, caramelization factor. Put the last 2 or 3 minutes, and you flip your meat. If it's chicken or pork or whatever you've got cooking, it's got a great taste to it, a very good finishing taste.
It's kind of got it's got that smooth, smoky flavor, but it's not that smoke that just it's overbearing. It's a real smooth sauce, and I think it really caramelizes really well on the meat.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It does a great caramelization. It's got a mesquite flavor, which I definitely love. So I think a lot of people like it up there. I think, anyway.
Oh, you would be correct in that assumption, sir.
Well, if you don't like it, just don't say anything, okay?
No.
Yeah, we don't want to hear it. and then our last one is our fishing sauce, which that one, it's not just a fish sauce, but you can use it on fried foods. You can actually grill with our fishing sauce, correct, Rob?
Yeah, I like to use it with fish. I'm more of a white fish type of guy, so I'll cook my fish with just a little bit of S&P, put it on there for, we'll say 2 or 3 minutes, but the last couple minutes, kind of like our glazing sauce, you'll put it on the very top and you'll turn it, and like you said, it gets that nice caramelization on there. It's got a very unique, it's a fantastic taste.
Yeah,
Can't describing it right now.
You know what? It's you'll never buy cocktail sauce again. You will never buy cocktail sauce again. I mean, and here's another thing. My wife doesn't even use it for fish. She uses it as a steak topper. So she'll use it to dip her steak or just put it on the top of her steak. Prime rib. It really, it's just so unique, as Rob said. It's got a multi uses. It uses it. Yeah. There you go.
He's still chowing down.
and all 3 bottles are all priced at Kroger. They're only $3.99. We priced them all the same, so you can get out. And actually, I think we're going to have another online sale starting tonight. And I think Kyler will give you the code, and it's going to be again 3 bottles for $10, and we'll give that out here in a little bit.
Well, I tell you, why don't we go ahead and give that out right now, Kyler?
Can you hear me?
Give away the farm, dude?
Well, you know what? We don't.
There's my phone.
That money thing's overrated, dude. We don't need
Hey,
money.
Greg, Mike.
Is the 3rd or the 4th mic?
1 second.
Can you hear me?
Turn this mic on. Hey, I'm here, Rob. Turn this mic on, Kathy.
It's on.
Okay.
What's?
It's on. I didn't know if I needed 3 or 4 on. I'm Sir Mix-a-Lot over here.
Yeah, everybody's eating. No. So Kyler's going to give you the code for tonight.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's NFB 17.
Is that like for National Food and Beverage?
Exactly. National
Wow! Look how that worked out.
We are so clever. Those monkey boys are clever.
I was gonna say they're cute and they're smart. And they can cook.
Well, hey, so Kyler's going to give all the demos. Well, how much time do we have?
We've got about 4 minutes left.
Okay, Kyler, why don't you start running down the demos that we have? We're going to be, I think, at 9 stores this weekend.
We will. Starting today from 4 to 7, we'll be over in Custer Road in Frisco, 12221 Custer Road. We'll also be at 1210 North Greenville Avenue out in Allen, and 5665 East Mockingbird Lane out in Dallas. Tomorrow from 12 to 3, we'll be at 1250 Preston and Prosper, 1320 West McDermott in Allen, and 4241 Capitol Avenue in Dallas.
As well on your social media, all the good stuff.
Absolutely. On Facebook, we'll be posting this, and you'll also be able to see it on our website.
What's our website?
The website's www.silverbackgorilla.com.
Is that G? Man, that is a commercial. This guy is smooth.
And hey, what do y'all think about your new commercials that started running this week?
Happy. Everything turned out perfect.
Love them. Kyler did a great job. Tony did a great job. Greg, you were a great coach.
Well, I was out trying to change a tire.
I
know. I gotta tell you about Greg. Greg, I said on Monday, thank you, but I had to tell you face to face, thank you so much for your efforts on this past Friday. Walked out to a little strange situation that I was not expecting, but I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, the depth of my soul. Thank you so much for really, really, really helping me. On top of that, you brought sausage in today, man. I mean, look, you're my new bromance Friday, Kathy. It has just been endorsed on this day.
I was gonna say, he just took over Money in the Bank with Frank's spot.
See, I'm starting to look at Sharavius instead of Rob. We're both bald.
Greg.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg. You're young. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna see you off for 2 weeks, but that's okay though. I'll be back.
Make sure you bring your grilling with you, buddy.
It's gonna be all gone. I'm gonna use everything in Georgia, Rob.
Well,
so it's,
hey, Rob, I'm gonna give him free bottles. Like I said, we're not trying to make money on. Yeah, free.
I don't think Rob's happy with your plan. You've got discounted bottles, free bottles. He's like, we got to make some money. This is a business venture. We're for profit.
Happy. That's all that matters, right?
Oh, we're super happy in studio today.
Hey, by the way, Rob, how are we doing up in Reno? How are those stores coming?
We're doing really well. We got into, we have a big supermarket up there called Rayleigh's. They're in 182 stores, but we're going to be in northern Nevada, Lake Tahoe, and Truckee, and we also got another one, Save Mart, which is the same thing. They have about 95 stores. and we're going to be in the same deal while Reno Sparks, Lake Tahoe, and Truckee up here. So we landed a bunch of stores up here, and people seem to be loving our product, and we're happy to.
And you know what?
And we've got about a minute, so yes, I was going to say,
local.
wrap it up with support local business.
Get
We're
out
big
there and
about
support
that.
your local companies. And you know what? Matter of fact, our distributor is a local guy, Texas LD. They are a local company that is our distributor. Support your local companies. Get out there and support them.
Love it. Well, we've got about 25 seconds, folks.
Tyler,
What do you have to
anything?
say? First of all, thanks, Rob, for calling in. You have any final words?
Final word is I'm just glad that Sharavius was loving life, especially when he loves Chick-fil-A sauce so much.
Oh, yeah.
That ours is better than theirs, and I love that.
Yes.
You don't get a better infomercial than that. Well, folks, thank you to Silverback Grilling Sauce. Thank you to Jeff Leach and Frank DeAngelis. And Sharavius, have a blessed vacation. We're going to miss you, my friend.
Happy vacation.
Have a blessed weekend.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I got to try this. And I got to get a picture of y'all with some sauce.
Okay.
If they're 401k.
All right.
I just realized I want the intersection.
Okay.
We'll do that next time.
The intersection for
That was probably hard to hear the whole.
No.
The intersection.
1, 2, 2, 2. Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
No, it was clear. Dude, you
No.
got a
And
radio
plus,
voice.
send me that, and I'll cut and paste it into this, and so
Perfect.
that'll be out to everybody who watches this.
Kathy's gonna try this.
I gotta
Look
try
at
the
this.
shrimp,
Oh, they can't even
folks.
see. You gotta show them how big that shrimp is.
It's crazy. Look at this.
Look, I put on an ice.
I know, that's so
Look at me.
fancy.
I am just.
All right, folks, getting ready to do a little shrimp taste test. Actually, I've already used this stuff. I've already used the fish sauce on shrimp.
Okay, you want to try it in that?
Oh, I may have to do that. All right,
Do
folks, I'm
whatever
gonna
you
let
wanna do.
I'm gonna let Sharavius come over and sign off, and then I'm getting ready to eat some shrimp. Sharavius, what do you want to say to everybody?
I'm going to enjoy this vacation with all this sauce. Kathy, you gonna eat that shrimp, Kathy?
Yes, back off, man.
You wanna get it? We can do like we're getting married. You eat a piece, like let's eat it like that.
No.
Okay.
I mean the whole thing. I may leave you one little bite.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, these sausages, more sausages in there.
I think it's hilarious.
Goodbye, everybody. See you in 2 weeks.
I think it's hilarious that Greg had a glove on for your food.
I did.
Yeah.
I put a glove on because I heard you say you're freaking about food. And
I trust him though.
Well, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't.
I really did. I got the glove for you.
All right, thanks, folks. Have a blessed weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Hey, Glennis. Hey, Clay. Y'all have a great weekend.
Well, I'm here.